Hey, War Gamers, welcome back. Purple Druid here with the latest painting update in the painting super marathon. Um, these are a bunch of skeletons that I did up yesterday. I used the, what is it called? The Varn palette, which is where you just use red, yellow, black, and white. And you mix all those different colors together to get a variety of colors. But again, it's a very limited palette, so it kind of cuts down on your choices. It definitely sped things up. And as you can see here, I was able to get a little purple, which was kind of fun. Um, these have not yet been clear coated, but these are the most recent completed minis. That brings us up to 92. 92 minis have been completed during my recovery phase here from my surgery. And these are all of the remaining work in progress figures that I had started basically back to last year. 2024 was the 25th anniversary of Mordheim. And so I was going to do a big Mordheim game at Carnage Con in November. So I was getting all these together. I had made some different war bands. I was going to use some non-standard figures. This is, I believe, a War Machine figure. These undead dudes, I'm not really sure where they're from. These are old. I've had these forever, and I honestly have no idea when I picked these up. This is a metal figure. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm not sure. I don't know where this came from, but it's a cool executioner guy. Some of these I think are Frostgrave. This is definitely an old Games Workshop Chaos Sorcerer. And I've got some ideas for that. I think this will be a lot of fun working on this. He's bent there a little bit. This is another one of those War Machine figures. Again, I don't know the names of these. I've had these for so long, probably 10 years, some of these. These are the Bromans that just came in a recent War Games Illustrated. I haven't finished these up yet. And then I have some dregs. I think these are... This one's not. This is not a Citadel figure because it's got the puddle base, but it's some kind of Dagonite looking dude. And then I found a couple of packs of old dregs from Mordheim. I was going to build up the base here. That's why his Slotta base is just glued to this. This is a wooden MDF round base. And then I also have this super fun, this is Reaper Bones, the brain in the jar. And I glued this together. This is going to be the commander of one of the Mordheim factions. And unfortunately, when my wife was diagnosed with cancer, I had to put this project on hold and cancel my trip to Carnage Con. So we're going to go ahead and get these done. And where are we at here? This is about 4 minutes. So I'll probably just leave this as a quick short. And I do want to, however, when I was searching for these, I went down into the hobby room the other day and pulled up all of the incomplete minis that I had in progress. And I also found in a box this Allison Grimdark. This is a project, I haven't looked at this in I don't even know how long. I know I started thinking about this project when I lived in New Hampshire. I want to say around 2015, 2016. I have a feeling I have not looked in this box in 8 or 9 years. So I thought I would share it with you. And let's find out what's in here. The idea was I was going to create some sort of war game faction based on the characters in Alice in Wonderland and use them for some kind of Mordheim / Necromunda type game. But let's go ahead and see what's in here. So, oh boy, look at this. There's a lot. Wow. All right, so here are some cowgirls, Western figures. Cowgirls, that's pretty cool. Captain Hook and Petra Pan. All right, that's awesome. So these are old pirate figures. I don't see the hook. He's supposed to have a hook on the end of his hand, but there's no hook in the bag. Oh, that's a drag. All right, we'll have to figure something out with that. AIG Bonus Tarot King. All right, that's fun. Long bearded dude with a kind of a epaulette jacket on. Clockwork Girl. All right, I think this is from the old Reaper Kickstarter for Airship Pirates. I think that's what that's from. This is Oberon, HF Mini, Hassle-Free Minis. Demonettes and Fairy. So this is Oberon, some kind of forest dude, so that's cool. And here is a skeletal-looking pirate. Kind of a Viking guy with a big mustache. Another pirate who's been hanged. A female warrior with some boob armor. I want to say this is from Brigade. I want to say this is. I want to say that this figure came as a bonus. Ships from Furniture. Gonna do this is a Games Workshop Slotabase, but I think this is. God, I can't think of where it's from. There's a lot of Pulp Alley figures that I use these for. Here is a cultist. What do we got here? The Seeker and a Mule. All right, so these are Reaper Bones figures. This is the classic overloaded henchman and some sort of magic user with a very heavily loaded pack. What do we got here? Demon Children, awesome. 1416. This looks. Oh, this is some sort of floating gas bag drone thing. I think there's two of those. I remember when I ordered the King in Yellow. That's pretty cool. Can't wait to do that one. I don't know what I got here. This is Jester. He's got some kind of grenade. Here's another one of the monks. I'm not sure what these monks are for. There's a little Buddha. Hassle-Free Sci-Fi Humans Gina. Tinkerbell, maybe? All right, that's fun. What do we have here? Caterpillar. The Caterpillar, yes. Some sort of super worm. It's got little legs. That'll be cool. This Dragon Forge design. This looks like heads. Different types of heads. Skull heads, maybe? Yeah, these are skulls and skeletal pieces of some kind. MSW8. These are, I want to say these are from the 17th century range. Maybe North Star. Not sure. There's a lady in a big gown and some, looks like some footmen. So that's very Red Queen stuff. Here we have some books from the Wizard's Room. 18th century audience vignette. All right, that's going to go along with these. Here we go. Yep, North Star, 1672 civilian party. Look at those outfits. Fantastic. 18th century audience vignette number 2, Motiva. And some more Wizards accoutrements from WizKids. So yeah, so it looks like maybe some sort of little game can be put together with this. This looks like a lot of fun. However, I am not going to dive into this because we've got a lot going on. And I'm going to pack this all up and show you another box that I think I'm going to try to do first. All right, let's see if I can avoid doxing myself. There we go, from Blue Moon. I bought a bunch of 15 millimeter minis. These were purchased last year when I was working on the Killing Fields, and I have a couple of 15 millimeter sets of Orcs and Barbarians, and so I wanted to expand those in order to be able to play some games, some large-scale skirmish games. So I got some cavalry. I have, this is a Mastodon. That's fun. What do we got here? We also have Welsh Spearmen. So these are more barbarian spearmen. This is Pilgrims. These are some NPCs that we can do some things with. More Welsh. These are Bowmen. So that makes a good chunk of our barbarian force. This is a stagecoach. That's fun. This is actually for to go along with the Napoleonics, the 18XX campaign. And then here we have, what are these? These are like some sort of, these are some adventurer types. I believe that I got these. Okay, these are spearmen. This is more spearmen. This is Q316. I'm not sure what pack this is, but I have a feeling this is a faction that I was going to use for the 5 Leagues from the Borderlands project. So these are some characters that I was going to use for that. So that's what that all is. Got a bunch of stuff here. Today I did go to the hardware store and I bought a bunch of washers to mount these on. I think I am going to mount some of those spearmen and archers on stands. I'll put 3 or 5 on a stand. Now those are from Blue Moon. This is from Coruscant Miniatures. These are definitely for the 5 Leagues project. And these are the various enemies and adventurers. I've got some spearmen here. These are all different little factions. As I recall, I purchased enough of them to be able to build most of the things that are on. So here's a vampire bat. I got most of the things that you would need for the various encounter tables. So there's a whole bunch of little packs here. This wasn't that expensive. I want to say this whole box is like $100. I mean, look at all these. There's like 20, 30 packs here. We got a lot of cool stuff. These are angels. Oh no, these are the flying apes. So yes, we got a whole bunch of monsters. This project, I don't know. There's a lot here. I don't know that all of this is going to get done. The 5 Leagues project is probably going to have to be sidelined for an indeterminate amount of time, unfortunately. I do have a few more weeks of rehab for my hip surgery, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and focus on these 28s today and the rest of this week. And I think I'll go through the 15s that I can use for the Killing Fields game development. And then I think I'm just going to put all of the 5 Leagues stuff in a box, and we'll sit on that for a little while I figure out what I want to do with the second half of this year, try to get some things done. I am planning on going to Carnage this year, so good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and everybody stays healthy, we'll go to Carnage, and I think I'll probably try again to run the Mordheim game. It will be a limited or an edited version of Mordheim, a simpler version, a fast play version, just because the Mordheim gangs are so big. And when you get 6 or 8 players around the table and they each have a large faction, it really slows things down in a skirmish game. So we'll do something along those lines. But maybe we'll have it be individual adventurers or smaller groups and see if they can't work together to try to achieve a mission. We'll see. I do have a bunch of buildings that I'm working on. I scratch built a whole bunch of buildings. I can cover a whole table with these buildings. So I'm looking forward to working on that. But I will definitely keep everyone posted. And I hope that you'll all tag along on this journey. And maybe this has inspired you to break out some minis and get painting. Once I am released and can go back to work, my plan is to work on painting minis every Sunday night and Monday night. And so I may set up some sort of internet show or live stream or something like that. I don't know. If that's a lot of extra hassle, or maybe I'll just record a bunch while I'm painting and edit that down for you. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. We just hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel, so I'm pretty excited about that. And as always, hit like and subscribe, and keep on gaming.